So yes, I'm live now. Just give me a couple of minutes. Let me get my guests into the show, and I will be back. Just give me 2 minutes. I'll be right back. 2 minutes. Don't move it. Don't move an inch from your screen. I'll be right back. Okay, welcome back from the short break. All right. Welcome, Abdurrahman Shitu. How are you, sir?
Yeah, good evening. How are you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly, loud and clear.
All right.
Good evening. Welcome to the show. I just tried to invite others to the show, but it seems they're not around. So we just go on with just the two of us like that. Okay.
All right.
All right. So how's been your week? How's been your week, and how have you been?
Yeah, fine. Thank God.
All right. So we'll go to the first topic for the day. Just hoping that others will join us as we progress. So so far in the transfer window, Abdurrahman. So who is the winner in this transfer window in the APL so far? And who can you say is the winner in the transfer window between the top six teams? Who can you say is the winner so far?
Yeah, absolutely. For now, it has to be when you look at it, it has to be West Ham, and even though we can't say categorically a top six side, but West Ham, when you look at Brighton and over Albion, they've been able to do some pretty business. They've been able to reinvest the money they've made from selling some of their top talent, from the sale of Moses Caicedo, and as well from the sale of Declan Rice. We saw how West Ham were able to spend that money as well. So they've been able to recruit. They brought in Kudus as well. They brought in other players as well to make the team stronger. So it's a good way for them to reinvest the money they've made from the sale of those players. So it's a nice one for them. They've been able to do a pretty job in reinvesting their money. So those two teams right now, and we saw one for Brighton and Owabion being able to loan in being Ansu Fati from Barcelona Football Club, who has been finding life pretty difficult at Barcelona. So it has shown that they've been able to actually do well in the transfer market. So for that two teams, I feel they've been able to do well in the transfer market for me.
So what about the likes of Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, Man United?
If you look at those teams, we can say that they overpaid for some certain set of players. When you look at Arsenal, for example, yes, uh, okay, for Man United, we say okay. If they said they've been able to secure Amrabat, that's a very fantastic deal. When you compare Amrabat and you compare him with Declan Rice, you can see even when they played in the Conference League final, the difference was there. The difference was very clear that Amrabat was a better player than Declan Rice on the night, and he has showed that in every game he has played, even for Morocco and for Fiorentina as well, that he's a better player for a lesser price than Declan Rice. So paying 100 million for Declan Rice. Yes, some people might say he has that Premier League experience, but and the market these days is crazy. But why would you pay 100 million for a player of such caliber? He's a fantastic talent, but looking at how the market has been bastardized, when we look at it critically, is Declan Rice worth the money that is being paid for him? Even for Chelsea, is Moses Caicedo worth the money that is being paid for him? We've seen the kind of business that those clubs have done with the money they've collected from the sale of those players. So, regardless, even for Manchester City right now, yes, they brought in some couple of players, but have they been able to replace Ilkay Gundogan, who left for Barcelona? No, they've not been able to replace him. Yes, they brought in Kovacic, for Kovacic as well, who is someone who has been in the Chelsea setup for a very long time, but we know he's not bringing in goals like Ilkay Gundogan does for Manchester City. So when you look at that deal, yeah, it's a deal that they brought in an experienced player, but can he really replace the player they brought him to replace? Absolutely not. He can't. And when we look at which other team again did you mention? Uh,
Liverpool.
yeah, for Liverpool, we saw how they were boxed out of the market by Chelsea Football Club. They were bullied. Practically, they were bullied by Chelsea in the market. All the players they were thinking about buying, even though they did some they tried to they tried to do some business late in the market. They tried to play Southampton, but Southampton now found out that they had money to pay. They had 110 million to pay for Moses Caicedo, but they didn't want to pay 50 million for Lavia. So a lot of things happen in that market. And right now, we are hearing that Mohamed Salah as well is thinking towards leaving Liverpool Football Club. So, and you've seen that they've not been able to bring in the kind of players they want. Yes, they bought in Endo, who was just a player they bought after they were not able to get their top two targets. So, a lot of things happened for these big clubs, but mostly, like I said, Brighton and Hove Albion and West Ham United for me are the biggest winners of this transfer window.
All right. Brighton and Hove Albion and West Ham are the biggest winners from coming from Abraman Shitu. Okay. Let's just go. I was thinking of bringing an Arsenal fan to the show, but I think he's not around now. So I wanted to ask: is Balogun? Is Arsenal right to sell Balogun? Do you think Nketiah is a better player than Balogun?
It depends on how you're looking at it, but this is a player that has not been given a chance to prove himself at Arsenal Football Club. He went to the French League On and he was able to score some couple of goals. We saw what he did with the United States team as well, because he is playing for the United States of America right now. We saw him scoring some couple of goals for them right now. So, but if he's not been given a chance at the club, then definitely he has to move on. But it remains to be the decision of the club and of the manager at that team. Or if he doesn't want the player, then definitely. But for Arsenal Football Club, when you look at it, you look at Chelsea, you look at Arsenal. If you can pay 100 million to bring in a strike and to bring in a midfielder, so you are paying 100 million to bring in a midfielder, or you don't have a world-class striker. So what's the use of paying such money to bring in an expensive midfielders, but you don't have a world-class striker? So let's say for Arsenal and Chelsea right now, the most logical thing to do was maybe to try and go after a player like Victor Osimhen. But I guess maybe a lot of teams were a bit afraid because to do business with Lorenzo de Laurentiis, because he is a tough negotiator as well. But when you look at it right now, like for Chelsea right now, they've spent over 200 million plus on two players in the midfield. Arsenal has spent over 100 million plus some couple of midfielders as well, but you don't have a striker that can bring in 20 goals every season for you. Then that's the reason why you cannot win the league, and that's the reason why Manchester City will always win the league, because you have an Alvarez who is a world-class striker as well, in terms of younger players or in terms of the young strikers in the world. He doesn't get to play week in, week out. He doesn't get a regular playing time at Manchester City. You have a Haaland. So that's why they should be able to win the Premier League week in, week out. So but these teams, you invest heavily on midfielders, you don't have a world-class striker. So what's the use of investing such amount of money on bringing in midfielders when you don't have a world-class striker that can bring in you 25 goals every season?
All right. Okay, now moving to you spoke about Salah leaving Liverpool. I'm just going to ask now: should Salah leave Liverpool for the mega deal in Saudi Arabia? Do you think it's the right time for Salah to leave Liverpool? You think it's the right time?
Yeah, for Liverpool, we saw how they struggled to replace Mane, and right now, if Salah leaves, then definitely the team will no longer be a top 6 team anymore. Because if Salah leaves right now, then that would be a big issue, a big problem for Arsenal football and for Liverpool Football Club. I beg your pardon. So for Liverpool right now, we saw how they let their midfielders go. No replacement for their their former captain that left, Henderson. No replacement for their Brazilian midfielder who left for Saudi Arabia as well. What is his name? One of their midfielders as well that left for Saudi Arabia. They've not been able to replace some of those players. And right now, Salah wants to leave. So if Salah leaves right now, then it becomes very difficult for them. It becomes very, very difficult for them because the fear factor right now, because when you're facing off against Liverpool, whether we like it or not, Mohamed Salah is the fear factor that every team will want to look at. Okay, this is the guy that we should be wary of. But when you remove Mohamed Salah from the picture of Liverpool, then it removes the fear factor from Liverpool. Liverpool becomes ordinary. Everybody can play Liverpool. You can't even go to Anfield and play Liverpool with confidence when they have no Mohamed Salah. So and rumors have it that he wants to leave. But let's just see how it pans out, because once he leaves right now, then that team is weakened and they have no fear factor.
Yeah, I really think. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I really think this is the wrong time for Liverpool to sell Mohamed Salah. They should do everything within their power to make sure they keep him. Because even if they want to sell, let them sell him in January when they have an option to buy to replace him. Because if they're going to sell, I don't think they're going to see anybody in the market now that they can buy to replace Mohamed Salah in the market. So they just have to make sure they keep him and make sure he's happy at Liverpool. All right. our other guest, I think our other guest I just joined. Alabi Joshua, are you there? I think he's having an issue with his network. Okay. Okay, let's just go to Manchester. Let's just go to Manchester United. Let's talk about Manchester United.
Yeah, for Manchester United. Okay. Yeah, go on.
Okay. Yeah. You know what happened with Greenwood? Do you think Manchester United are right to terminate Mason Greenwood's contract? Do you think they are right? Do you think it's the right thing?
The thing is that every organization have the way a manner and style they run their organization. So for the Manchester United board right now, I feel they don't want any negative or bad press, because there is this bad press that will follow them once they allow this player to come back into the team, and definitely that bad press is what Manchester United is running away from. But for me, I feel it's a decision they had to make, a hard decision, and they took the decision to let the player go. So for me, I won't fault them, because if everyone is joining an organization, you have different pattern of joining your organization. So if they feel Mason Greenwood will bring bad press, will bring bad news, negative press to the club, then he has to go, because there are some fans that might choose not to come to the stadium anymore if you allow the player to play. Yes, we know he was proven not guilty or stuff like that, but these are issues where you go to the Western world, where they have a different approach of looking at things, a different approach of viewing things. So it will be difficult for you to change that mentality of some of those fans. And if he's playing for Manchester United, there might be people who might be booing him. So it will be someone when you play in your stadium at Old Trafford and the fans are booing one of your own players as well. So these are some things they need to actually work on. So for me, I feel that those are some of the things that the management looked at and say, no, we can't allow this player to come back into this team.
All right. Thank you very much for insight. If you're not talking, please mute your mic. If you're not talking, mute your mic so that we can hear ourselves. Yes. Nice. Very nice. If you're not talking, please mute your mic. Okay, I'm coming to Alabi Joshua. In your absence, we'll be discussing about who is the winner in the transfer market so far. So I want to ask you the question: who is the winner in the transfer market so far? Alabi Joshua, who is the winner in the top system, the EPL? Who do you think is the winner with transfer market so far? Looking at what they have done in the market, who do you think is the winner?
In England.
Unmute your mic.
Okay.
We can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Okay. I think we can hear you now.
Hello? Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear me?
For the English teams, I believe, funny enough, I actually believe that Manchester United had the best transfer window. The best transfer, the winners of the transfer window definitely was Manchester United, and the losers of the transfer window was Liverpool. Because Liverpool's purchasing power has clearly waned over the past few weeks. How can you table a bid for Moises Caicedo, table a bid for Romeo Lavia, and you are unable to get one of them? And you end up getting one Japanese guy from somewhere who's probably related to Jackie Chan or something. So, I feel Manchester United had the best transfer window. But the problem with Manchester United's transfer window is just the goalkeeper. I don't think that type of player, sweeper goalkeeper we are used to. It's not an English type of goalkeeper, because the English league does not like this type of goalkeepers. they press. Teams like Brighton will press and counter press. Teams like Liverpool will press and counter press. And you cannot afford to stay on the halfway line or out of the 10-yard box saying you're going to be a sweeper keeper. So I believe Onana will have to watch his ways as the goalkeeper of Manchester United. Then apart from that, I'm hearing that Sufyan Amrabat has just been confirmed that he has joined Manchester United. That makes for a very, very good holding, a box-to-box midfielder. He can mark and he can also, chip in with a couple of goals. And so I consider Manchester United's transfer window as the best. And Liverpool's at the worst. But basically, as far as I'm concerned, like Dominic Szoboszlai is a good player, but what is his specialty? Is he a box-to-box player? Does he give you goals? What does he actually provide? They are good team players and they are great individuals. Szoboszlai is a great team player, but not a fantastic individual player. And what Liverpool need now, they need the spark of an individual, not necessarily a great team player, but the spark of an individual. And McAllister is not it. McAllister is also a good team player, not an individual talent. So, as far as I'm concerned, Liverpool have barely signed anybody. So they have the worst transfer window to me.
All right. You consider Manchester United as the winner. Okay, I'm coming to you, Mike. Are you there? Unmute your mic.
Yeah,
Mike.
I'll make sure I'm with you.
All right. Okay. We've just talked about Arsenal in your absence. Do you think Arsenal are right to sell Balogun and keep Nketiah? What do you think? Do you think Arsenal are right to sell Balogun and keep Nketiah?
Yeah, first and foremost, I want to say good afternoon, everybody. Sorry for coming late. I'm running some errands and doing some things that I have to come in with. So concerning Arsenal selling Balogun and living in the picture, at the first moment I wasn't happy Balogun going and the picture because initially I was telling one of my Arsenal on it also that leaving Balogun I would have preferred before now I was saying I would have preferred Balogun if he can go on a loan, sign a league and go on a loan, then leave the picture for this season. Let Balogun go on a loan in the EPL league, EPL or championship too. And next is game plan is England game. But they haven't been tested truly. He only played I think 1 or 2 games in England. So I prefer him to sign a new deal and go on a year loan, either a championship team or a team like Brentford that give me Everton to see how he's going to perform in EPL. When you try his game in French League One, I will see he will do very well in French League One. We can't compare the French League One to the EPL team, to the EPL game. So I've said that after going for a loan, they see how Balogun and Nketiah perform this season. They now decide to sell next season. So they'll give you money back because they're academic player. But later when I see that individually, Balogun is not a patient person. So an patient person, you can't force them to manager because they is not been tested in EPL. And Nketiah has done very well for the past 2 seasons in Arsenal. At least upper season, he was not a high person to enter a local list for when like I said, and Aubameyang were not performing very well. Those periods, the airport with 6 goals in 8 matches. And last season too, when Gabriel was absent for 3.5 months, he helped us win some important matches before was no bench and had an injury too. So for Balogun have not done that. And he created the natural goal scorer also too. You can't just look at all those things I've done, just push him aside and put Balogun and not created him. So to me, when I see that the guy is not patient, even when England was telling him to prepare a little bit, he still wants to go to USA. So to me, I believe he's a very good player, but the Balotelli player that they make him. So I don't think that's that kind of player that's not patient enough. So selling him is a good thing. I leave it in Ketia to play on for Arsenal. I believe Arsenal is going to get a better striker in the near future. So don't sound like Balogun and Ketia together. With only one of them to complement the bigger one that will be getting in the near future. That's what I think.
Okay. System with you, Michael. We've talked about Salah. Do you think Salah should leave Liverpool now and join Saudi Arabia? Do you think it's the right time for Salah to leave Liverpool? Somebody just commented. Casey Lee said if Salah leaves, they are finished. That's coming from Casey Lee in the comment section. He said if Salah leaves, they are finished. So I'm coming to you at the beginning, Michael. Do you think it's the right time for Liverpool to sell Mohamed Salah?
Do you think it's the right time for them? Because they can be saying they have Diaz, they have Down Nunes, they have Cody Gakpo. I don't think Salah leaving now will be the best thing for them. They need to still hold the guy for at least a season to see how they come together. Because this is the first time that Nunes is back and playing with the gap for now. I believe selling Salah will be a big mistake to them because they've not even done well, really well in the transfer market. That's my take.
Okay. Okay. All right. What about the Man U take? We've talked about Man U and Greenwood. What do you think? Do you think Man U are right to terminate Greenwood's contract, Michael? Do you think Manchester United are right to terminate Greenwood's contract?
I will say they are right to some extent because they are looking at their club reputation. Can you get me? They're looking at their club reputation. They are not trying to. They are not trying to make a mistake of letting him stay and it's affecting their gameplay. Do you understand me now? So they are trying to make it it's something that be within the club and it will leave so the club will not be in a bad light. That's my take actually. So I believe it's a good thing letting him go.
Okay, okay. Before we go to prediction of the Premier League and La Liga games, I want to go to Abraman to play on the MPFL. So just give us a breakdown of what we have to expect in the MPFL this season. I think you know how we deal with the
Yes,
broadcast and the streaming.
we're talking about the loser and the winner of the transfer market.
Yes,
To me, who I would say would be the best player because I would have given it to Man City and maybe I have said Man City as the first, and maybe Arsenal, but Arsenal only popped up in the Abbas deal. Even the same, I can't give money because why I can't give money because of Mason Mount is not a person they needed in that because they only have is Fernandez. I prefer to have gotten something to replace or relax Casemiro in his play in football match because that's not a person can play 30 games or 40 games this season. He needs rest. There is an old player. He has a player, but also need to be changed in some matches. If you look at that time, they do the public now, the injury player, it's there that they get that they can have fun. So what I'm giving match because match being so good than and they got a replacement for him, Martinez of Wolves, the life for life for him. Not up to good standard, but he's going to be a important player in that squad. Also, try to be a winner, Doku. So I believe Man United has the winner in the market, but they got player they wanted, codedly, and they got a labor in that bro. That's wonderful player to balance the have. So I'm giving the winner. However, I don't think the man is. I don't think Arsenal. I rather give Man City. Winner for me, I leave because I'm not even interested in this thing. I don't understand them. I don't think that is more positive. You have to look at it positive.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's go to Abraman now. We're going to be talking about the MPFL now. So just give us a breakdown of what we should expect in the MPFL. I think we now have a streaming partner, a live streaming partner from whether I don't know the name of the company. So what should fans be expecting from the MPFL in this coming season? Just give us a breakdown, Abraman Shitu.
Yes, for the MPFL is back. Hopefully, it will be better than what we've seen for a very long time, and hopefully, the clubs will come in with their A game, and hopefully, we get to see teams traveling via air if they are going to locations that are more than 100 kilometers. But time will tell with everything happening in the MPFL. But we have new teams coming in as well. You have Sporting Lagos, one of the newbies that are coming into the league, and as well they have a packaging they are packaging their team very well. So let's see what they can bring in with the Lagos swag and Lagos fans coming in with Sporting Lagos. And for Aimba as well, who are always like a team everyone tips to win the NPFL season in, season out, even because they are a traditional team. When you look at Kanu Pillars as well coming back from relegation, because they have this crowd trouble. Their fans are one of the most ultra fans in the Nigerian Professional Football League. They just always want to win. They want to ferment trouble everywhere they go to, and it cost the team last season or last 2 seasons when the troubles they made the team got relegated. So I guess maybe the new management right now will need to work hard and make sure that they correct some of those excesses of their fans because it cost them, and they were relegated to the Nigerian National League, which is the NNL. and it's actually take a turn on the team. Some of their sponsorship wasn't coming forth for them again because they were not playing at the top flight football in the country. So hopefully they can be able to control their fans and make sure that they do well in this season, because they just brought in Abdul Mekaba, who is one of the coaches who is from that state as well. He's from Kano State, but he has never coached the Kano Pillars. But right now, he has been given the mantle of leadership to coach Kano Pillars. Let's see what he will bring. And as well for Finidi George in Eimba, let's see what he can do. He won the Abridge League, even though if it was not Abridge version of the league, he was not. There was no way he was going to win the league. If it was not Abridge, then everyone would have been looking at Bendel Insurance winning the league. So for Bendel Insurance as well, let's look at them. What would they bring in this season? Let's see what they can do as well. They've proven themselves. This is a team, they call them the Benin Arsenal. Let's see if they can bring in that swag, because it's been a while that they've been in the NPFL, but right now we saw what they did last season. Let's see if they can continue with that momentum. And as well, the Billionaires Club, Remo Stars, let's see what they can do as well with the continuation of the sponsorship deals they've been with a couple of the owners as well coming in with a huge amount of money to sponsor the team. Let's see what they can bring this coming season in the NPFL as well. So these are some of the teams we'll be looking at. For Shooting Stars, they struggled last season. Let's see if they can be able to come good this season and do away with those struggles and do well in the NPFL. But apart from that, when you look at Kano Pillars, you look at Eimba, you look at Remo Stars, then maybe you look at Sporting Lagos, the new boys coming into the block. For Plateau United, whether here nor there, they will be good this season. Next season they will struggle, but let's see what they can bring. As well for Aqua United, they always start the season slowly. We saw them winning the league, I guess, 3 seasons ago or so, but they always start the season very slow, which has always cost Aqua United in the league as well. But they are another top side as well. They have the stadium, they have the backing of their fans as well, and they are one of the few teams who fly to far distances to play their matches. So let's see what they can do. But in the NPFL, hopefully it will be a great season. But definitely when you're looking at people who can win the league, you look at Remo Stars, you look at Bendel Insurance with their last season performance, you look at Enyimba, and as well Kano Pillars, not writing them off, because right now they have a new governor in the states, because we know it's a state-owned club, and this is someone who would be backing the team massively. And we saw how they brought in a fantastic manager, and they've recruited a lot of players. They have depth in their team. So let's see what they can do this coming season. So those are some of the clubs we'll be looking at that will be able to bring in an upset and maybe win the Nigerian Professional Football League.
So what do you have to say about the live streaming and partnership they have with them? Whether prepare something? Give us some details about the live streaming stuff.
Yes, I've not really gone through it, but it is a right step in the right direction, because we know for the NPFL for a very long time the NPFL was not on TV. They tried to stream as well with the Red TV, where they stream. They had an NPFL app which was sponsored by Red TV. Then we saw how they experimented the game. Some of the games were on NTA, and they brought Emmanuel Etim and Babatunde Guerrero, some of those guys to commentate or to be the commentators on those match days. They try to experiment 1 or 2 things. So let's see if this one can be better than the other one, because in the NPFL you have clubs streaming their match, which is very wrong. You don't see that happening anywhere in the world, where you've seen club side will be the one streaming their matches. No, you have to allow the organizers of the league have a partnership with TV station or with satellite stations, so that you have that TV rights, so that a lot of money will be made from streaming those matches on various platforms. That's how it's been done anywhere, but not some football clubs being the one to stream matches. And as well, hopefully we'll get to see them stream a lot of matches, because there will be some stadium that they will say or some clubs that will say they don't want them to stream their match. But if you won't allow anybody to stream your match, then that means that match, you forfeit that match for a 3 points. Every match should be live streamed, so that you see anything that is happening, so that we don't get stories where people will say some hanky-panky were happening in some venues, this and that were happening in some venue. Because when all the matches are on TV, you get to see everything that is happening. You get to question some of those referees, and as well, it helps the fans to be able to know some of the players that can do better than some players that are invited into the Super Eagles. Because if we have a live streaming platform or a TV rights where we can watch all these matches, then if you are bringing a Joe Aribo or you're bringing what's this player's name in Brentford, who some of these players that are sitting on the bench in Europe, and you can see some players that you've watched their match maybe 4 or 5 times before the international break, and you see that this player is playing week in, week out for Enyimba, or this player is playing week in, week out for Kano Pillars, this player is playing week in, week out for Remo Stars, and can play better than these players that are sitting on the bench. Then you can question how some of those players are being invited into the Super Eagles fold, because you can see these players and you can say, no, this player is better than this player, regardless of him playing in Europe. This player that is playing the MPFL is better than that player. He deserves to be on the team. But when you don't get to see them, for let's say for us here, we might know some of the players that have been invited into the Super Eagles team from the MPFL. But the average man on the street will just look at the name that who be this one again with a call? Who is this one that is being invited to the team? Because they don't know him. So if you don't know, if there is no visibility for you to get those players, then you can't fight for those players, or you can't say these players or so players should be invited into the national team fold. So those are some of the advantage you get from the NPFL. Let me yield the mic. I'm a bit busy. I'll join back.
All right. Thank you very much, Abraman Shitu. Michael Ajiboga, are you driving?
Yes, I'm actually driving, but I'm almost at my destination.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Because we are coming to you now. We're coming to you now to get your thoughts on the Premier League prediction. We're coming to you now. So we're starting with Luton versus West Ham. What are your thoughts on Luton versus West Ham?
Yeah, Luton versus West Ham. That match will be, I think it's a derby match, if I'm correct. But they are newcomers to the EPL, and they see what they do in EPL. So I will not be going for anything less than West Ham winning the game. I'll be going for a West Ham straight win. I can't predict the score now, but it's just the beginning of the season.
So what's your correct score prediction? What's your scoreline prediction?
You want to? I'm saying Luton scoring one goal and West Ham winning 2-1. So I'm going for 1-2.
Okay. Sheffield United versus Everton. What's your thought? Sheffield United versus Everton.
You can do it that way around, but I'm going for a home win or draw.
Okay. Man City versus Fulham.
I'm going for Man City straight win. I'm going for 2-0 straight win.
Man City straight win. Chelsea versus Nottingham Forest.
I'm going for anybody winning that match because I can't really say Chelsea are back now. So I'm going to go for anybody winning the match.
Anybody winning Chelsea versus Nottingham Forest. Burnley versus Tottenham.
I'm going for a very strong game. It will be a very tough match. But I'm going for an XP to Tottenham. Because considering that them playing what they play in the EPL, I'm going for a double chance to Tottenham. XP.
Double chance to Tottenham. Brentford versus Bournemouth.
Brentford, Bournemouth, I'm going for a straight win for Brentford. We're going to win the game.
Okay. Abraman Shitu, are you there now? Are you with us now? Can you comment now?
Yeah, I can talk now.
Okay. What's your prediction on Brighton versus Newcastle? Abraman Shitu, what's your prediction on Brighton versus Newcastle?
That would be a very difficult game to predict, but I see a 2-2 draw in that game. A score draw, 2-2 draw.
A score draw, 2-2 draw. Okay, what about Liverpool versus Aston Villa?
Yes, in the past we saw Aston Villa demolishing Liverpool 7-2 in a match that Liverpool fans will always want to forget. And for Liverpool right now, for Aston Villa right now, they have a coach and they have some exciting set of players. So don't be surprised if Aston Villa nick that one, a 2-1 win for Everton. For Aston Villa, I beg your pardon.
But Aston Villa are playing away from home. They are playing at Anfield.
Yeah, regardless, because for that team right now under Unai Emery is a fearless coach. So definitely he will bring his troop out to play in that game, to bring out everything to Liverpool. And with Mohamed Salah being distracted right now, don't be surprised if Aston Villa can just get one over Liverpool out there.
Okay, Ajiboge Mike, can you talk now? Or should we? Okay, I think he's off. Okay, let's go to Crystal Palace versus Wolves. Abdurrahman, what's
Yeah,
your thought? Crystal Palace versus
yeah,
Wolves.
yeah, Crystal Palace versus Wolves. A balanced match, if you ask me. But these two teams desperately need that 3 points. So, but I will tilt towards Crystal Palace because they've not started the season very strongly the way they wanted. But I will tilt towards them to pick that point. A 2-1 win
Okay.
for them.
Lastly on APL today, Arsenal versus Manchester United, the big one on Sunday. What's your thought?
Yes. For the two teams right now, they will want to look for every possible way to get those points. But for Man United, they've not been impressive so far this season. They've been struggling. For Arsenal Football Club as well,
Yeah,
Arteta has been experimenting with some of their players as well. So, but a fair draw, a 1-1 draw will be a fair result in that game. 1-1 draw will be a fair result in that game.
1-1 draw will be a fair result. Okay, Ajiboge Mike, are you there? Can you comment now?
yes, I'm with you. I'm with you. No, I'm with you.
What are your thoughts on Arsenal versus Manchester United? What's your prediction? Arsenal versus Manchester United.
My prediction, normally I would love to be biased about it because normally looking at their both matches for the past 3 4 seasons now, the home club takes the game, whether it wins or draw. But the mistake Aita is making might cost him if he keeps using Havertz to start the match. But in that match, if he did not start Havertz in the match, I'm going for a straight win to Arsenal, a 2-1 straight win to Arsenal. But if he bet
Okay, I think we've lost.
on
Okay.
player using Havertz,
Okay. All right, let's
can you
go
hear
to
me?
La Liga.
Can you hear me?
Let's go to La Liga matches now. La Liga. I'll start with you, Abdurrahman Shitu. Cadiz versus Villarreal is going on by 6:30. So what's your thought on the game? Cadiz versus Villarreal.
Yeah, for Villarreal, another exciting team in the La Liga. Cadiz as well, another stubborn side. But hopefully, we'll get to see an exciting match. But for me, Villarreal takes that one 2-1.
Okay, Almeria versus Celta.
Almeria versus Celta Vigo. Celta Vigo, another decent side when you look at the La Liga. But for Almeria right now, we have Sadiq Umar as well. We saw how they came into the season last season and they were able to survive. They came in from the Segunda, that was the second tier league in La Liga. So a fair result would be a 1-1 draw in that game.
A fair result would be a 1-1 draw. Real Sociedad versus Granada.
Real Sociedad versus Granada, another two decent side. But for Real Sociedad right now, they have a massive amount of talent in that group, and hopefully they can come up and challenge in that game. So for me, I would say towards Real Sociedad picking that game, a 1-0 win for them.
A 1-0 win for Real Sociedad. Okay, Real Madrid versus Getafe.
Yeah, for Real Madrid right now, their midfielders have been the one scoring most of the goals. Jude Bellingham coming into that team and proving himself. So Real Madrid should win that game, or a 3-0 win for Real Madrid.
Okay, Alaves versus Valencia. Alaves versus Valencia.
Yeah, Alaves versus Valencia. Valencia as well, another team that has struggled in La Liga last season. Let's see if they can come up, bounce back, and be the Valencia we used to know those days where they compete in a lot of or they compete in La Liga and as well do well, produce a massive amount of players. So I'll give Valencia a 1-0 win.
The Valencia a 1-0 win. Please, if you're not yet subscribed to this channel, if you're watching live, please do so now. We will give you mouth-watering content, football content, week in, week out. So just subscribe to Complete Football Podcast now if you're not yet subscribed and you're watching now. Okay, Michael, are you ready?
Yes, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Real Betis versus Real Vallecano. What's your prediction? Real Betis versus Real Vallecano.
I'm going for win or draw for the Real Betis game. I'm going for home win or draw for Real Betis.
Okay, win or draw for Real Betis. What about Girona versus Las Palmas?
I'll be going for anybody winning that game because it's going to be a tough match between Las Palmas and the home team. So it's going to be a very tough game. I'm going for anybody win in that match.
Anybody win. Mallorca versus Athletic Bilbao. Mallorca versus Athletic Bilbao.
I think they don't take it again. It will be a very tough one, but I'm saying it's like of a 1-2. That's a way wins by 2-1.
Away win. Okay. Let me go to you, Mr. Shitu. Atletico Madrid versus Sevilla. What's your thought? Atletico Madrid versus Sevilla.
That's a mouth-watering match. The last time we saw Atletico Madrid whitewashing a team 7-0. So hopefully they've not scored all their goals in their kitty this season. But for Sevilla right now, we know they are a very dangerous side. We saw how they pushed Manchester City to the limit in the Super Cup. So, and for Atletico Madrid right now, today they are hot, tomorrow they are cold. But Sevilla might shock Atletico Madrid in that game. I go for a 2-1 win to Sevilla.
Wow. Michael, do you also agree with Shitu? Atletico Madrid versus Sevilla. What's your thought?
So who is giving the game? Sevilla or Atletico Madrid?
Atletico Madrid versus Sevilla. Atletico Madrid is playing home.
Definitely the game. I'm going for a straight draw for the match. I'm going for a straight draw because Sevilla playing what they play for recent games now. They'll be playing a tactical game. So to me, I'll be going for a straight draw in the match.
A straight draw in the match. Okay. Last one for I'll go with Shitu now. Osasuna versus Barcelona. What's your thought? Abraham Shitu. Osasuna versus Barcelona.
Yeah, for Barcelona, a lot of their fans have not been happy with the way Xavi has been making his selection. But against Osasuna, these are matches they should be winning. It should be like a 3-0 win for them. These are matches they should win too, so that they will boost the confidence of their team. So I'll go for a Barcelona win. Barcelona 3-0 win.
Barcelona 3-0. What about you, Michael? Do you also agree that Barcelona are going to win that game very easily?
Definitely, I'm going for a 2-0 win to Barcelona. I don't see Barcelona scoring 3. I'm saying it's going 2-0. Because they themselves, they will not be very fantabulous in scoring games. Also. I'm going for a 2-0 win.
2-0 win for Barcelona. All right, we've come to the end of today's section. Please, if you're not yet subscribed to Complete Football Podcast, please, I'm begging you, just subscribe and the link in the subscription button below. Just subscribe, do well to subscribe, and we'll be giving you mouth-watering content. Just know that every week in, week out, we are going to be giving you mouth-watering content. All right, we've come to the end of today's show. Thank you very much, Abraham, for your time. I really appreciate it. But even with the short notice, you were able to come through for us. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Godwin. Thank you for having me.
All right, maybe next week we'll have to do this again. So, Ajiboke Mike, maybe next week you're going to be in a very conducive environment for the show, because I think you're just like trying to just stress yourself to just get us in the show.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be very conducive. Thank you very much.
All right, next week I'm going to have both of you again. Thank you very much for your time. All right, fans. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.